A very, very good morning to the TBC community, whom I would like to address in my early morning broadcast. It's now 5 a.m. here in Auckland, New Zealand, and I am coming to you live from my home in Auckland at being this my 81st broadcast. Thank you for visiting my video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'll be so happy to have you along as a subscriber to my channel, and in order to like my videos, and so we may connect in more ways than one. I am a trusted seller within the TBC community, and I just like to offer my help to anyone who may need some direction in understanding the beautiful concept of TBC, the Billion Coin. What affords me the opportunity as being a trusted seller here with TBC, the Billion Coin, is the ability to help you move through the program in a timely fashion. Good morning, Crypto TBC. Don, thank you for visiting me. And I'd just like to give respect to those who are looking to become a member of the TBC community. And coming live from Auckland, New Zealand, we have a 12,000 membership strong here, and for our small country of 4 million population, that's not bad for our little country. But in waking up to a blog that's that has so much notoriety within the TBC community, I'd like to go through that, go through the blog, and just to see where we're at as far as leaderships are concerned. So thank you, Don, for being here. And I'd just like to share my screen and go over to that blog, because it is a very vital one. Now here we have, I have called for the resignations of all official leaders in TBC. I have called for the resignations of all the official leaders in TBC. So this is the latest blog out. Now, as you know, all our leaders that we're all very, very aware of, who have done the greatest of jobs in their areas, in their countries. But like we all know, that through becoming so involved with TBC, as many, many members around the world on a global scale have done, we've all earned the rights as a leader, but without having the title. It just makes it more homely than having to be called a leader of TBC, because once we all get the idea and get the grips of TBC, the Billion Coin, well, then we're all leaders in our own rights. So let's go through this blog. Do not be alarmed as we restructure TBC into what it's meant to be. Our organisation is growing up and maturing, and we no longer have a need for official titles as we move forward. Because, like I said, we're all leaders in our own rights. We started our leadership campaign 2 years ago by running elections in the fast-growing countries of TBC. Now, I just want to explain here that I had been on a one morning on one of Randy's broadcasts, and I asked the question. All as I said was, "Oh, is there a team leader here in New Zealand now? At that time, would have been just as we'd gone into the new year. And I was pretty much only 2 months into the program myself. But I had pretty much made myself noticed as far as watching broadcasts from other members. And I just asked Randy on a broadcast, who was the leader for New Zealand? Now, to my surprise, he just leaned forward, and I maintain that it was only because my name was there to be seen in the chat room. He called out my name. Not exactly how it was pronounced, but my cousin happened to be listening. She says to me, "Is that you, cousin?" And I said, "No, it can't be. I haven't been in here long enough." But however, many people had heard my name being stated that Julz Paekau was the team leader for New Zealand. But to me, it didn't sit well because it wasn't a title I had earned. Well, not up until that time, because I hadn't even done a broadcast by then. But the word got around, and a lovely lady in Australia broadcasted, posted out there, naming me the President of New Zealand, which didn't sit well with me at all, because how could that be if I really did? I hadn't even read too many of the blogs. So, but what this did do was enable me to get stuck in, going right back to the very first blog of 2016. And from there, I just spent countless hours going through everything 24/7 until I felt that I was knowledgeable enough to just be not so much the president, just a leader within my community, to get my community into the TBC mode where they could understand things that I was trying to convey to them as far as TBC world is concerned. And so this post, this blog right here, defines everything for the whole community. So we're all leaders in our own rights. As you can see by the poster above, that was a great success. And you know, all these guys up here. Now, the many voices of TBC, along with the many broadcasters that are quickly coming on board now. So it's great to see that this morning the broadcasting room has been very busy, because although I've just woken up about an hour ago, the broadcasting room is blowing up, and that's a wonderful sight to see. There is no need to run any more elections moving forward. The voice of TBC has been replaced by the voices of TBC. The most constructive part, I think, for everybody is to understand that we all have a voice now. But we will always migrate back to the voice of TBC for his weekly broadcasts and his send button meetings. Thanks to the many broadcasters and to those that will become broadcasters ongoing into the future. The top 10 below the voice of TBC consisted of 7 elected leaders and 3 appointed leaders, and each of them have served the TBC communities in ways words cannot begin to describe. Each of them has my personal eternal gratitude for their works and their results. And a fine tribute from the TBC admin, as always. It really warms my heart when I see leaders treated with respect and love, and it saddens me deeply when some cast unreasonable expectations on leaders and will even behave abusively towards them. And as we all know, the whitefish lady, Carrie, she got targeted extremely badly and went through a very rough patch with trolls and naysayers, and even had her account broken into. And these are the kind of abusive behaviours that none of us should be open to, should be even considered. And so this move by TBC admin is a very brave move. I hope that by removing titles such as elected leader, that those would demonstrate abusive behaviour would just stop and learn to support a leader when they step up. Well, that's the most obvious thing. When you've got somebody that's ready to put themselves out there and help, why would you want to be abusing them? Because they're the ones that will probably get you through to the end or to a point of understanding. May every TBC member step up and take on leadership roles. By no means should this call for resignations diminish their leaderships in their own ongoing efforts to lead the TBC community. The leadership structures each of them have built should remain in good standing without titles, and chains of command should stand strong regardless. Yes, because they will always be, because of their leadership. They have that standing that people, what do they call it? They tend to migrate towards a person with a strong standing. And therefore they latch on to a particular person that they feel will help them in their endeavours to understand TBC, the Billion Coin. This call for resignations is a necessary formality to put the world on notice that we are a people with leaders and don't require legal standing to march towards our mission and objectives for humanity. And with 3.2 million currently current members in TBC, the urgency to stand strong and move together is getting stronger. Titles imply legality, and we choose not to be limited to legal means to succeed at what we are doing for humanity. We refuse to fall into the legal traps and snares as we move forward. And believe you me, over my entire adult life, the legalities of the traps that they set out in documents where you may be taking out a personal loan or putting something on hire purchase, or those types of things. There's so many traps that they know that if they put it into their what do you call it, the risks that you take, but they're so finely written, nobody takes notice of reading the fine print. And I never ever did. I just wanted to get that loan, sign it away. Next thing you know, I'm in big trouble, big shit, because I've signed something more away than I realised because I didn't read the fine print. Do ideas require legal authority? Well, they say it's a legal thing when you're signing all these documents, don't they? It's a requirement. But all it is a nerve to press when you get left behind, when they want to come and repossess something. So that's their legal authority. That depends, doesn't it? It seems evil ideas love to wrap themselves in legal authority, don't they? Domicide is the murder of any person or people by their government, including genocide, policide, and mass murder. Now, I looked up this word domicide and I didn't pretty much like what I saw. Now, let's go and have a look at that. Just a brief looking at what domicide is. Domicide, the book would have been useful for its title alone. Domicide is a new word coined by Porteous in 1998 and is defined as the planned, deliberate destruction of someone's home, causing suffering to the dweller. The word is crucial because of its emphasis on the destruction of domus, home, which in itself elevates and makes clear the importance of home. The coining of the word makes it possible to give a voice to all the feelings and understanding that victims of the process, that victims of the process have been unable to articulate as happened when the concept of child sexual abuse was named and described. So that word, domicide, which is, democide. Oh, I've got the word wrong altogether. It's democide. It's not domicide. But anyway, that domicide. I'm just going to have to rephrase that, aren't I? Because I've gotten the whole meaning of it wrong. So I just want to have a look at this because I want to get it right. I'm so sorry that I've cottoned onto the wrong word. A term revived and redefined by the political, including genocide. Oh, I see. Look, I'm in the right place right here. So I just want to have a better look. Sorry about that. It's not like me to get it wrong. I just totally got two words wrong. The intentional killing of an unnamed or disarmed person by government agents acting in their authoritative capacity and pursuant to government policy or high demand. Well, that changes the demographics of what I was thinking straight away. Domicide wasn't the word I was meant to be looking for. I totally got that wrong, and I apologise for that. I really do. I don't usually get it wrong, so we'll go back to the blog. Democide. I'm so sorry about that. I have gotten that totally wrong. Good morning, Stephen Cuppy. Sorry for my little glitch. Thank you for being here, Stephen Cuppy. Democide is the murder of any person or people by their government, including genocide, politicide, and mass murder. That is done legally. Do you get my point? Isn't ending poverty globally an idea based on goodness? Absolutely. It warms the heart that there is an admin with the nature of not only giving, but moving in a worldly manner and in a godly manner. We have thousands of years of proof that governments refuse to hear the cries of the poor to end poverty. All they do is make that problem worse. We cannot legally end poverty. They won't allow it. We also know violence is counterproductive to the objective to end poverty. So the people need to realise that the responsibility of ending poverty globally rests upon the people themselves and must accept it as an idea. An idea that does not require authority. A good idea. TBC is the money that will make that idea come true. But TBC itself doesn't need legal standing to succeed. What it needs is a growing community that unite, stay strong, and walk forward. Legal structures will naturally form around TBC to support it without obligation, like what we have seen happen already in the Philippines when 110 native tribes accepted TBC as their legal government. Now, those guys over there in the Philippines are just moving the TBC community forward in leaps and bounds. And I know for myself here in New Zealand, we need to get a hurry along. You know, we need to G up and on a global basis, not just the Philippines. And I know that PNG are gearing up quite quickly as well. So it's something that each country needs to move on. And having the strong leadership that they have right now, they're just doing it. They're just doing the job and getting things done. TBC gives these tribes the pathway out of their legal oppression that they have suffered from for hundreds of years. When you read this agreement carefully, you will see it is free of obligating any party for any reason. Have you been brainwashed into believing that something needs legal standing to be in the right? Well, I think a lot of brainwashing has been going on for years. We've just got to learn. We're just all learning now how to shake it all off, how to get around it. I could go on and on here making this point, but for the sake of time, I will simply ask you to open your mind to all the possibilities and consequences. And I have been doing that myself, opening myself to different spectrums of what it is I want to moving forward to, in the point that I have overcome quite a few obstacles health-wise, and I want to be able to bring things to fruition and help as much as possible wherever and whenever I can. One of the undesired consequences of passing out titles within the TBC community is that some felt entitled to abuse leaders holding a title. Well, I got a little bit of flack as far as that's concerned, but with a lot of integrity and a lot of calming down, I managed to get around people who tried to do that, tried to do harmful things to me. But in my wisdom, you don't let people pull the power over you. You are the director of your life, and you lead it as best you choose. These people are wrong to think that they can do that. So by removing the titles altogether, it should be clear we are all free to operate as we desire without the heavy burden of obligation on anyone's back, leader or not. If you see a leader doing good, support them. Don't expect more of them. That is wrong and slows us down. And, there are some people out there, they want more, but they don't want to do any more to get that. They want you to just give and give and give, and they forget that they're robbing you of your time. So to get that into perspective from the get-go, that yes, you are there to help, but please help yourself as well. And as we all know, we have the TBC blog that's here for you 24/7. And whatever you need to know, it's all here. Our motto should be, do no harm. We should appreciate all contributions, even if they are small by comparison. We will get more of the things that we truly appreciate and recognize. Now, this line here, I've heard you say this line a couple of times, Stephen Cuppy. We will get more of the things that we truly appreciate and recognize. Because I'm sure that's where I first ever heard this, was from one of your broadcasts, Stephen Cuppy. So treat the leaders you see in the poster above with love and respect, and only place expectations upon yourself and not on any other. Sure, offer opportunities and make agreements freely as individuals where the benefits of such are mutual. Let's be givers and not takers in this world. Images of resignation letters will be placed at the bottom of this post to make it completely official. Now here's our Hydra in action, the old Hydra by Tub. In a recent Send Button meeting, we were told the viewers of our intent to become a Hydra type organization. So this brings great clarity to this picture, because you cut off one head, two more will grow in its place. Well, one more, two more, but within the TBC community, 3 million more. In mythology, the Hydra is very difficult to kill, because if you happen to cut off one of its heads, it will spontaneously grow back 2 more heads to replace the one that was chopped off. And that's the quality of unity that TBC community has as we are growing. But I have not seen any heads being cut off. They're just growing. By removing the targets off the backs of the leaders in the poster above, we will grow without concern of personal attack. It's foolish to chop away at the heads of a Hydra and futile towards any desired result, because the result will be, for one, you add 2. So you cut off 1, you get 2. These leaders don't know admin personally, and only through occasional chat have we communicated. And isn't it marvelous, the communication between these leaders and admin? And they still don't know who admin is. Not on a personal level, but it's and the necessity for knowing who admin is. To some people it's important, but to many it's not, because here's admin in the blog every day communicating. In fact, we hardly chat at all compared to the early days when we raised up these leaders. These leaders, well trained and good examples to follow. All of us are asked to become broadcasters and lead in that manner. We want to develop a Hydra with 1 million equal heads and become unbeatable when the elite wake up to our mass exodus from their system of control. We are going our own way, and we do not need the elite. We will not fight the elite head on. Ours is a flight from the fight. Isn't that awesome? Ours is a flight from the fight. So we take our wings and we're off in a different direction. Do no harm. Completely non-violent. Each head enjoys the abundance it deserves, and we are one. And that is so true. We are all on a mission to end world poverty. We know that silence is consent as far as the elite are concerned, and that is why we broadcast our ideas. Each of us will become masters of our own destiny, and we will cast off the chains that enslaves us individually. My gosh. And, you know, when you think of the amount of time, for me, going through the um, same boring stages as far as daily life and especially through the years of bringing up the children, it was like a routine. How am I going to break loose from all these shackles? And finally, we have TBC The Billion Coin that is going to rattle those shackles to the bone and finally off. Each of us must deprogram our minds to become free. Absolutely. Become free. And when I'm in my TBC world, the Billion Coin, with the likes of people like you, John Harder and Stephen Cuppy, it becomes more, the word free becomes more relevant to me as I progress forward in amongst a community that are so giving of their time in their broadcast rooms as well. I hope all of you in the TBC community will see the wisdom of this event and look within yourselves to find the strength to become a self-appointed leader that does no harm as you build your own kingdom. May the principles of light, righteousness, sincere gratitude, loyalty, friendship, mercy, forgiveness, justice for all, abundance, peace, love, joyful living, humility that comes from strength, kindness, generosity, and helpfulness guide your thoughts, words, and actions, knowing you are far from perfect while aspiring towards personal perfection. What a beautiful paragraph. That's a whole person wrapped up in this one paragraph. We all have love and light in our hearts to move forward, to aspire towards personal perfection. Be good to one another. This is beautiful. So here we have the letters of resignation. And, you know, it really moves me to read these letters of resignation because these, Dr. Dan, for instance, such a powerful man, and with the presence that he portrays when he does his broadcast, it's just somebody you want to migrate to, just to listen to what he has to say, regardless of whether you can understand it. Favor Sunano, Lawrence Butana Malileke. You know, we can all go through and read these letters of resignation. Augustus Daniel. Now that's a name that I haven't. Augustus Daniel. Oh, is that bad of me that I don't recognise the name? But I will certainly make it my business to get to know him even better. So let's stop sharing here. So that was a beautiful post because it pretty much we all define ourselves as leaders, and Edmund has just more or less solidified that everybody doing their broadcasts are a leader in their own right, no matter where we're from. So thank you so much, John Harder and Stephen Cuppy, for coming to my live broadcast. It's been wonderful having you here, and it's 5:30 a.m. in the morning here in New Zealand. It's been a very eventful weekend, you might say, as far as I'm concerned. Did a 26-hour marathon with another member, Brian Seaman, who we just went from webinar to webinar. Now, at this point, Stephen Cuffey, I would once again like to congratulate you on the appointment of being sent to Africa with Randy Wilson. Now, I was just ready to lock down last night, you might say, and I saw I saw the blog, so I just had to jump back on and pay tribute to you in a broadcast that I thought was only going to take 5 minutes to say thank you for being a friend of yours, Stephen Cuffey, but actually went on for quite some time. But in all recognition of what you do for TBC, Stephen Cuffey, and the presence you give in the broadcasting room, none other person deserves this privilege, this well-earned privilege, I might say, than you, Stephen Cuffey. And congratulations. And so with that, thank you, John, and thank you, Stephen, for attending my broadcast this morning from live from Auckland, New Zealand. And it's been a pleasure. And I look forward to catching up with you as well in your broadcasting room. So for now, this is Julz Ann Paekau from Auckland, New Zealand, and signing off for this morning. And you have a lovely day, evening. Oh, good afternoon, Mahaka 88. Good evening to you. I'm just signing off, unfortunately, and but it's always grateful to have you here. So with that, good evening, good morning, good night, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you all. Bye-bye.